Good afternoon, grade 7 learners. Here we are to learn how to prepare a wet mount. But before we start demonstrating how to prepare a wet mount, let me familiarize you with the materials to be used in preparing a wet mount. First, you have here the glass slide. This is where you're going to place the specimen to be studied under the microscope. Then next you have a thinner and smaller glass, which is called the cover slip. This is used to cover the specimen that will be focused under the microscope. And the last one is the specimen. This is the specimen. So it is a small part of any material or maybe an object or a plant. So it has to be thin or small for the light to pass through. Again, the materials to be used are the specimen, the glass slide, as well as the cover slip. So this one is, again, the cover slip. Now let us go to the methods on how to prepare a wet mount. First, you're going to get your glass slides because this is the one to be placed on the stage of the microscope. After that, we're going to get our specimen. In our case, let us make use of small letter E. So this one is small letter E. I cut it already for you. And then I'm going to place it on the glass slide. So that is letter E on our glass slide. After that, what do you do next? We're going to add a drop of water. So we have here a drop of water. Why do we need to add a drop of water? This is in order to make the specimen clearer. So there, just a drop of water is added on the specimen. And then after that, you're going to get your glass or your cover slip, and then you position it 45 degrees on the glass slide, then slowly lower it down there. And we already have our wet mount of letter E. So that is our wet mount, letter E, that is already ready to be focused under the microscope. But we cannot focus this under the microscope. I'm just going to discuss with you the important points to be remembered. So if you're going to focus this under the microscope, you would see, or the result would be an inverted letter E. So also, the opposite direction will be shown. For example, if you're going to move upwards, then the specimen appears to be moving downward. If you're going to move it on the right, it appears to be moving on the left. And then if you're going to move it on the left, it appears to be moving on the right. So those are the important details if you're going to focus this specimen under the microscope. So it is inverted and then the opposite direction. Next, we talk about the magnification. We said a while back that a microscope is an instrument that is used to help us see objects or organisms which cannot be seen by our naked eye. So, microscope enlarges or magnifies an object or a material or a specimen. Now, what is that called? That is the magnifying power. So it is the ability of the microscope to enlarge objects seen under it or studied under it or under focus, okay, by the use of lenses. How is it determined? It is determined by multiplying the number that is found on the ocular or the eyepiece with the number that is found on the objective lens in focus. So how is that? So if this is your microscope, you have the microscope there. What are you going to do? So the microscope here on this part, so this is the eyepiece, there is a number written there. And then on the objective lens that is in focus, there's a number again there. So what are you going to do in order to determine or in order to solve the magnifying power of this microscope? You're going to multiply the number found here and the number found on the objective lens. So for example, you have 4 times here and then you have 10 times here. What would be the result? So the magnifying power would be equal to 4 times 10, that is equal to 40. It means to say that, what does it mean? The object or the material or the specimen has been magnified or has been enlarged by 40 times. So that is how you're going to solve or determine the magnifying power of a microscope. And also, this is how you're going to prepare a wet mount. We cannot focus this under the microscope because I do not have a microscope this time with me. So I hope you learned something, and thank you for watching and joy answering your modules.